So hey guys, we're back in front of the house. We now know today that BRYAN KOHBERGER is responsible for the quadruple homicide that happened here at 1122 King Road in the early morning hours of November 13th. What are we doing out here again? We're going to take you for a ride. We have good information and good intel that he went to school the next day, which means he had to have left this location and proceeded back to Wazoo. So you guys are going to take that ride with us. All right, guys, so we're docked and ready to explore. So we are right now, you're looking down the road. This is Queen Road. You are looking down, heading toward the apartments and 1122 King Road. We are going to take you for a trip because we are now learning that the assailant left this location after committing a quadruple homicide, homicide by stabbing 4 young college-aged students. And we're hearing he went back home and went to school the next day. So we're going to check out what that ride would look like. This is the way the GPS is telling us to go. I'm not sure if there's any other route back to his housing or not, but this is the route we're taking. Sorry. Let's go. Okay. We're also going to, as we're backing out of here, we're also going to discuss, we're also going to discuss where he could have been parked. There's several locations he could have been parked. He could have been parked up on Walinta, which I think would have been horrible because he would have had to scale a lot of, area to get back to his vehicle on Walinta. But there are a few key spots in this location. We know about the steps that go directly to their home from this band field. You're looking right now at Sigma Chi, the back of the Sigma Chi fraternity house. Yes, it is that close. And what you're seeing here as we're approaching is band field. That is where the altercation happened there with the boys in the alcohol event. Now, I'm gonna undock you just for a second. If you turn this away, right down there is, right over there is the steps. The steps that go directly to the house. You can see law enforcement, or excuse me, private security over there manning the house. And then right here is that fire hydrant where the black vehicle, or the black jacket, was seen. As we proceed down this road, over here, where's the back?
Yes, so right here in the middle, these two houses right here.
Right, there it is.
So this building right here where there's some yellow and it's brick, around that corner we found where the picture of the black light was taken. We believe that biological evidence may have possibly been found at that corner of the building. So it's possible that he was running in that direction. Maybe some blood possibly fell, who knows? And he could have run down this way.
So he could have been parked somewhere out here, or even around here to this road, right here, somewhere in this area. This could have been where he...
And right here is where the surveillance camera captured the white Elantra. That 6-apartment building at the very top of this hill right there is where the camera is, or was.
All right, guys, you're gonna be docked. Why is yours much darker than mine? Yours gives more of a dark, a night view. Mine's bright.
I have an older phone. This is an older one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's much darker than what you guys are previewing here, but I can tell you it is pretty lit driving down this road. So we need to proceed to, give me just...
Let me get the directions.
Didn't we put them in here? Which one was it? Right there?
I believe so, but let me just double check.
Yep, I'm positive it is. I'm positive. 1630. Yep.
Obey traffic laws. Be alert and use Use voice commands while driving. Turn left now.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Confirmed.
We're turning left on what is it? Percy?
Pierce.
Pierce?
This is Greek Row. This is where the sorority that Ethan Chapin belonged to. That night he and Zaina Kernodle went to a frat party. It's believed that there was a small argument that he had with a frat member that Zaina got between them and broke off. But is it possible that BRYAN KOHBERGER partied at one of these fraternities at some point during his time at Wazoo?
Very good question. I mean, we're learning a little bit about BRYAN KOHBERGER. Some of the stuff that we're finding out is a little concerning. Very concerning, as a matter of fact. We're learning that he's obviously had a master's in criminology if he was going and working toward his PhD in criminology. I don't know if I want to. Do I want to? Well, by the time this goes out, yeah. So we've already had an opportunity to have an interview. So there are new details coming out about.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So a friend of BRYAN's, who went to school with him in high school, came forward and we spoke with him, and he had some interesting things to say, which you'll see. It's about a 16-minute long interview. But something that he talked about was BRYAN's personality. And the first question I asked him was, did BRYAN ever show signs of aggression or violence, fits of rage perhaps? And he said yes. So much so that he discontinued his friendship with BRYAN because of how mean he was. BRYAN mistreated this person we spoke to, so much so that this person cut him off from his life completely. It was that bad.
Yeah, he was talking about. He was very, that he was surprised. A lot of people thought he was, their opinion of him was he's lighthearted, fun. He goes, his opinion was much different. He also said a couple things that were surprising, like he was very analytical. Just a lot of personality traits that he had back when they were friends, which was 9 years prior. So he hadn't had contact with him in quite some time. But that interview will be coming out, so be on the lookout for that, and I think it will be interesting to hear.
In 1/10 of a mile, turn left onto West Pullman Road.
This is interesting because we haven't passed the gas station that has surveillance footage supposedly of the white Elantra, or a white Elantra.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the opposite direction of here. So maybe that really wasn't his Elantra.
Well, think about it. There was a screenshot of a white Elantra in the early morning hours, but it never came from law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know whose car that was, but we do know a white Elantra is a popular car.
But it's interesting because I thought we would have passed it, but it's actually in the opposite direction from here. It's possible that he turned
But you know
around.
what? I remember JLR saying that it was coming toward this. So maybe he was coming from a different direction, came here, and then went there.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to get. And I'll show you. I know you're driving, but I'll quickly just show it to you.
It's very interesting. I would love to know the route he took, but I can tell you here,
That pin is where the gas station is.
yeah,
And we never went in that direction.
right.
So,
Maybe he was in that
oh,
area.
let me show you guys. Let me show the audience.
Because that was in the early, wasn't that like early 3 a.m.?
Yeah, it was literally like 3. I forgot the exact time code. So right here, that pin right here, guys, is about where that gas station is that captured that surveillance footage. And
That blue pin.
The blue is where we are about to cross the border of Washington State into Pullman. So this is what I'm thinking. Let me zoom in here just a little bit.
And let me see your pen drop too.
So, yeah, I have to think about that.
I don't know if you guys can see that. There it is. We're in the opposite direction. There you go. Probably a little too close to the camera for mine. But
Check my storage first. Storage. Good, I have plenty of storage.
so right now, even though the camera is light out, it's still pretty dark.
Yeah, it is dark, guys. Anja has a newer iPhone than
Let me see if
mine.
I can just try to drop that. Can I drop that down?
No. Oh, well, oh, you're right.
There we go.
Wow.
That looks more like
Wow.
what we're driving in right now.
Fancy smanchy. Oh, mine has that too.
Oh, so you can probably, yours is probably down.
Mine was way down. Guys,
There we go.
we may be tech savvy, but at the same time we're not.
It's hard to see the lines on the roads at night. I can tell you that. There we go.
So let's talk about the mindset that he could have possibly been in. Imagine he just took down 4 people. He's probably covered in, I hate to say it, but blood. I wonder what he's going through emotionally. And from a lot of things that I've read online that have been coming out of about people who knew him, they always say the same thing, that he's emotionless and just has a dead look in his face. And it seems to be that he has some sort of issue where he just can't connect, or has some sort of emotional, again, I don't know, but just from what I've heard, and in the interview, the person we spoke to did mention that BRYAN couldn't really understand human emotion. And I've been reading a lot about people saying that he was emotionless and just had a dead look in his eyes a lot.
Yeah.
So,
And we were learning that he did, in fact, have a pretty heavy heroin addiction. I don't know if it was, it obviously was in high school, before college, and yeah, it seemed like it was really significant. We asked also, well, I don't want to go into too much detail of the interview. I want to leave some, but you guys will definitely want to listen to that the upcoming interview.
yeah. He also talks about BRYAN's family,
That's what I didn't want to.
but we're not going to talk about that. But he talked about the family, so that's something that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's dark. I can't imagine. I mean, to me, it's starting to become a little more clear for me the kind of person he is. And personally, this was something I think he was fantasizing about. I still believe he's made attempts and watched that house before. I believe he's made attempts to carry this act out before, but failed. And I mean, it seems based upon the if everything we're finding out is true with the poll, I think he was somebody that got excited. This wasn't sexual to him. This was power to him.
Yes, I feel that too, especially after the interview that we had, because some of the things that he said, it corroborated with that.
And I've said that many times. I mean,
Yes,
there are a
you-
lot. That's what kind of freaks me out a little bit. But there are a lot of things that I stated up front that it's like, damn, it's pretty spooky.
And another thing, guys, don't forget about the Reddit post of the survey that he created with those questions, specifically for criminals to answer about their experience while they were doing their crime. It seemed like he was obsessed. Because who writes... I mean, I don't know, it's just very odd. It's almost like this was maybe something he looked forward to his whole life. And the fact that about a year before he did a whole paper, article, or study on this exact thing, to me shows that this was like a dream for him, something that he really wanted to do. Which is disgusting and creepy.
That just gives me chills.
Yeah.
Not a serial killer, but it sure seems like a making of a serial killer.
And speaking of serial killers, apparently he was one of his professors taught a segment about Ted Bundy, and it's possible that he was taught about. Well, I'm sure he took criminology, so of course he was taught about a lot of serial killers.
And I just want to let you guys know, I do see traffic cameras at these lights.
Yeah.
Traffic cameras are at these lights where I turn here.
3 miles on the current route.
So where we are right now is, I'm sure, the route that he took. I mean, there's no other ways to get to the apartment that would be easier than this.
But if
the
it was
way.
planned, if there was back roads,
Yeah.
we need to look at that, because he may have really went out of his way to try to avoid, because like I said, there were traffic cameras at that intersection.
Another thing that's interesting is apparently someone in Pennsylvania called the tip line because they saw a white Elantra with Washington plates. You would think that he would know better to not be driving around with the Washington plate with the white Elantra, but maybe he didn't think that anyone would notice all the way out in Pennsylvania, which shows you the power of social media. It really does. Do you know how many years he studied at this college?
Well, it sounds like he did a lot of his work at a college close or in Pennsylvania and came here for the PhD work. I could be completely incorrect about that, but I know he did a lot of his college career in Pennsylvania. Maybe he came out here. I mean, we don't know what kind of person we're dealing with here, but this, maybe he wanted to get far enough away from home. We don't know how long he's been planning this.
Yeah, I'm curious to know the reason why he came out here, if he had any family or friends out here, or if he just really wanted this specific criminology program. In fact, yesterday, someone emailed me a screenshot of the Wazoo criminology page on their website, and it was taken down. So we're getting close, guys. We're just not too far. I wonder if it's possible for them to still detect any biological evidence of the victims in his home, like through the sinks.
That stuff stays around for a really long time. That's how they were able to go into Harmony Montgomery's apartment so many years later and collect enough evidence to confirm that they believe that she had met her demise, and that was years later.
Yeah.
So
white car right there. On Alondra.
The memorial for Kaylee and Maddie was beautiful.
Yes, it was the celebration of life. It was so heartbreaking to hear all the stories and memories that her friends and family had about Kaylee and Maddie,
In
and
1/10 of a mile, turn left onto Northeast Merman Drive.
it was just heartbreaking. Okay, guys, we are entering. These are the off-campus apartments.
In 1/10 of a mile, turn right onto Northeast Valley Road.
So I can tell you, just there had to have been a lot of cameras he's passed
Yes, definitely. Just
just to get.
all these homes and apartments.
Your destination is ahead on the right.
Okay, 1630.
Let me go get my
You
map.
have arrived at your destination on the right.
Why is it taking so?
Oh, see mine.
Okay.
So you'll have to turn around.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, it's straight. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Go straight. You're gonna go up that little hill right here.
Right here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause I remember this one was off. Remember yesterday? Yep.
In 1,000 feet, turn right.
Yeah, keep going up for a bit. I'll tell you when to turn right. And then the next right. So slow down a little bit. There should be a right turn coming up.
Right here.
Yes, right here.
Turn right for North Avenue, then turn left.
Turn right here. Or go.
Yes, turn right. So this is.
Oh, remember. Oh, that's right. We got to go all the way back to the back.
Turn left for North Avenue.
Yeah, it's telling me this.
Okay. So we'll go this way.
Yeah, so guys, we're looking for G. That's the G.
And it's all the way in the back.
Turn right onto Garden Avenue, then your destination.
Good. And now you're gonna take a right over here.
Oh.
Turn right. Turn right onto Garden Avenue.
It's like a maze. There's Steptoe Village. That is the.
That is the.
Wait, G. I think that might have been G actually.
Was it? Let's just see.
Yeah, let's just see. We'll be able to see the back of the complex.
Yeah, I think you were right.
Yes, yeah. So I
So
can
we'll
see
turn.
his apartment from here.
Yep.
Okay. So we're here, guys. We're just gonna turn around and park directly in front of his apartment.
So this is exactly that was the exact route that he took back to get here. And again, this is a nice little community, but I can tell you just based on our drive, he passed a lot of cameras, street cameras. We've passed a lot of houses that I know at least one had to have had a Ring doorbell. We passed several stores and gas stations that undoubtedly, most likely had CCT footage. And guys, we're pulling in as we speak. Here we go. This is his house.
All right, and it's right there.
I'm pulling right up where he most
They
likely...
took away the crime tape.
They're done. And he's up there on the second floor. Right up there. Right there is his house.